Ice cream on top.
Sports Talk Live for the
Play
culture. Another session. Good afternoon, fellas.
What's happening?
Yo.
Glad to be here.
Glad to be back.
See my homie Gino tuning in. Shout out.
Shout out, Gino.
First tune in for the day.
Way to go, Gino. Welcome aboard. About to get this thing in.
Special.
Duke, how you doing?
Man, good, man. I got a special happy birthday shout out to the little girl who changed my world.
Oh, okay.
Miss Aislinn Evans. Happy
birthday.
15th. I love you.
Happy birthday, niece. 15.
Got her own cookie line.
Yeah.
Cookie line right here.
We banging them out.
You know what I mean?
Inquire.
They
Inquire
banging them
about
out.
the cookies.
Banging
They
them
about
all
to
the way out.
disappear.
In the comments.
Jonathan, how you doing?
I'm good.
And we got Nate in the building.
Yes,
Frequent contributor to everything down here. How we go? Let's go. Well, let's talk, fellas. It's been an interesting turn of events as we start, and we've been starting, as we do it, talking about the association, the National Basketball Association.
It's hot right now. It's hot.
Playoff time right now, and I've dubbed these playoffs Claw and Order.
I like that. I seen it. I love that actually. I like that. That's
The story of the playoffs so far has been, we'll get to Golden State and what they've been doing and everything like that and how everything goes, is the establishment of Kawhi Leonard as possibly, arguably, the best basketball player on the planet right now. The load he's carrying is unlike anybody in the playoffs right now. He's doing, like maybe we say, LeBron-esque stuff in the East. And it's an interesting thing when you take a look at Toronto. Toronto fired their coach after a record number of wins, made the big move, the big trade to bring in a guy they may only have for 1 year, and they said, look, we're going to go for it. We hit our head against the wall before because we didn't have the best player. LeBron exits to the West, and they felt they had the chance to put on their team the best player on this side and maybe the best player in the NBA. And you didn't know because he was coming off an injury, and he did rest 22 games this season, which I think kept him off the All-NBA team. But, guys, where are you ranking Kawhi's performance so far as he has Toronto up 3-2 with a Game 6 at home tonight, I believe, to reach their first ever NBA Finals? Where do you rank his performance?
First, let me say shout out to Doug. He said, "Where's the big handsome guy?" And Doug, Doug's out. Doug's on hiatus.
Dougie Fresh, what's up, brother?
He'll be back next week strong.
But
where do we rate his performance? Like, as far as other performances?
Where do you rank it right now? Just put everything in perspective. First year on the team, first year on the squad. Yeah. The expectations are finals or bust.
Yeah.
New coach in Toronto. I heard they're offering him the province of Alberta for him to stay up there. They just made, for those who know, provinces are like states in
that sounds about right.
So they want to give him Alberta. Yeah. But where do you rank him?
I mean, you got to put him high. I'm not big on Kawhi, as everybody knows in this room. But you got to put it high. But you can't. I wouldn't say putting it too high because it's not like he's going against that Pistons team that LeBron went against. It's not like he's going against, 5 Hall of Famers. Like, it's not, he's going against, someone he almost should beat pretty much. Like, so it's not like he's going against something like a juggernaut where he's counted out. He's not counted out of this series to no one. Like, not even me. I don't know if anybody had him counted out when they was playing them. So it's a pretty much even playing field. And he is showing that it's even. They're up 3-2. You know, they were down 2-0. You know, and he won the last 3. But he's definitely doing work, and he's definitely doing what he should be doing. And but it's definitely something to see. But I wouldn't go too crazy on it because, like I said, it's not like when LeBron was counted out and pulled off one of the greatest playoff games recorded in history, you know, like, so it's...
You talking about Detroit, his first time he went?
Yeah, when
23 straight points?
He's the 23 straight points, right. It's not like he's doing that against 4 Hall of Famers, you know, whereas though they have 4 Hall of Famers, you know, on their team, you know, future.
Were they Hall of Famers at the time? I mean, were they still in their prime?
They were a little out of their prime. You know, Chauncey was still doing his thing.
Yeah.
Rashid was like, you know, a little out of his prime. Tayshaun Prince was definitely a defensive stopper, as you seen what he did to Kobe the year before in the championship. So it was like, you know, that team was built to win more than one championship, and LeBron put a stop to that. But yeah, I like where he's at. I think he's doing the work he should be doing. You know, but. I like him, but I don't like the best player on the planet right now. I don't.
Who's better right now? I'm not talking about last week, this week. I'm talking about right now.
I guess you can say that if you're not counting really the whole NBA. You're not counting the people that's sleeping right now. You're counting out of everybody's bouncing the basketball right now.
That's all that matters. Who's bouncing the basketball right now? It don't matter.
Pretty much.
If you bounced it in October, November, January.
And I don't know if I would still put him ahead of Steph, you know, but that's just me.
Well, guess what?
If you put Steph on this Toronto team,
No. He do what he can do. Steph wouldn't be able to do what he can do. You're right, because he doesn't guard the players he guard. He doesn't do.
But he's on the defensive end. He's also holding the Greek down. Like
right.
you say, all right, go be our leading scorer, and now stop the Greek doing for what he's doing.
Right.
Is Steph going to man up on Greek?
So this is where I come in at right here.
Because Steph don't even play the best guards offensively on other teams.
No, he doesn't.
And this is where I come in. All right, our game right is about what can you do on the offensive end. And what can you do on the defensive end?
Right.
And who else is doing what he's doing, like he's doing on both ends of the floor? So with that being said, he's the best player in the playoffs. And it's like a no-brainer. But see, I think we are caught up in the sexy.
Oh, yes, we are.
Steph is sexy with the points. That's what we look at. And we forget about the other end.
Yeah. Listen, I'm with you.
The guys who play defense and stop people, that's the coach is no help. I'm not running a screen for you to stop nobody. Yeah. I'm not doing nothing. It's you are by yourself on the other end, and the claw is locking stuff down, making a difference. Yeah. But he goes to the other end, and I'm seeing 39 and 5 and 7. I mean, how is he not the best thing popping right now? And here's what we could do, what we can say. And this is what I like to do to, you know, just solidify things. I don't think if you take Curry off Golden State and put him on Toronto, I don't know if he can do what the Claw's doing right now. I don't think he can do it.
He can't do it. Like, but it's the
that,
same thing.
So that's what I'm saying. So
you
the
can't
results,
move him over here.
Right.
You
So the results.
But you can't move
if you take
Kawhi over there and expect him to do what Curry does.
Yes,
it's not his game.
But he can. We seeing him do this. Is what I'm saying.
It's not his game.
But we seeing him put these 39s in.
But he's also putting it up. He has no choice. If he was playing with a Kevin Durant, he wouldn't put those numbers up.
Yeah, but
if he was playing with a Golden State, his points is inflated.
Okay.
Kobe doesn't score 81.
Whose points are inflated?
His points. Kobe doesn't score.
Whose points are inflated?
Kawhi points. Kobe.
They need him.
Listen,
but they all count.
They need him.
Everyone
but
counts.
They're inflated because of the team he's on. Kobe doesn't score.
I don't like that word, man.
Well, Kobe doesn't.
I don't like that inflation.
Inflation is something.
Does Kobe score 81 with Shaq?
Well, we talking.
Those points are inflated.
No. I understand it, but I'm talking about this series.
I'm talking about winning.
I'm talking about this series and get on my back, and I'm gonna carry you on both ends.
He has no choice.
Nah, Curry can't do that.
Andre Miller was averaging 18, 20 with the Sixers because he had to.
Curry can't do that. Curry's not locking nothing down on the other end, making a difference in nobody's night defensively, and giving them 35. that's my gripe right there.
Well, yeah, that's my thing. Was when you look at when I said the best player on the planet right now because it's the all around game.
Right.
What you're doing all offensively, on
and you can't
both
find
ends of
them.
the
You
court.
can't find guys like him anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you stick the best player on the other side. Like, okay, he comes in averaging 30, but you see him with 17, but you somehow get 35. Like, that solidified me as, okay, well, guess what? All the questions that were asked about who's better than who, now it's showing me, okay, then I'm better than him because I scored. Nobody stopped me from doing what I'm doing offensively, but not only I didn't
And he's slightly
took
injured.
something from you on your end.
Yeah,
So that leads me to say, okay, then you win.
and he's slightly injured.
Does Toronto beat Golden State?
I don't know if they could beat.
Nah, I
him.
don't think they beat Golden
Do they
State.
beat Golden State?
No,
I don't think they beat. But you talking, you got weapons over there, a mass destruction, and you got a well-oiled machine going. But I know what you're not doing. You're not going to take.
But who?
You're not going to take Clay and put him on Toronto, and think everything is going. They're going to be
And
where
right
they
now-
at right
right-
now. You're not
Clay
going to take Curry.
Clay is probably the second best two-way player.
Yeah, but
he's probably other than Jimmy.
he's not the
him
claw.
and Jimmy,
But
like he's not the
here's
claw.
the
He's
situation.
probably the.
Here's the situation I always said. Here's the situation.
Well, defensive
and
end.
this is where I've always had Jordan up on the highest place. When Jordan goes to Chicago, the Chicago Bulls are nothing basketball-wise as a franchise. Magic goes to LA, but they're already the Lakers. Bird goes to Boston, but they're already the Boston Celtics. You know what all comes with it. When you talk about choosing and playing together and being part of a team and being in the right fit is one thing. But when you just talk about natural ability, who you're going to take first and who you're going to pick, that's how I consider the best. Right now, you could take Klay Thompson and say, okay, we got Klay Thompson. We're going to build a world championship team around Klay Thompson, and he's going to be our best player, and he's going to be the player that we put all these other tertiary and secondary players around to build and carry the franchise. Can he do it? We don't know. We probably won't see. He's in a great fit in Golden State. It's the reason why
He's in a great fit, just like Lowry is a great fit. We can find probably a lot of other guards that's better than him, but that fit right now is working.
And
for
you
him.
you got to look at the NBA
I
with
would say they
32
made that
teams.
Mike Conley trade. Conley would have been better than.
When you had 32 teams anyway, like it's 32 teams. It's not like before when it's calmed down. The NBA really should have less teams. There's a lot of watered down talent. You got 32 teams in the NBA, and then you got a concentration of the top 10 players on one team. Then KD can go out for a series, and you still can make it to the finals.
Right.
Because there's no other. Because
Right.
those players get the breaks, the rest, or whatever. Because when you come down the court, Clay just dropped 10 in a row. I got my breath. Here I come in the fourth quarter. I'm gonna get the last 18. The Claw can't do that. Like, hopefully Siakam is hot. He got a
Right.
got a hope.
He's over there begging and pleading. My feet
You know?
hurt, but keep us up so I can sit out.
I mean, definitely. I mean, that's the whole thing. Why I say right now he's the best in the planet, because what he does on both sides of the ball. And you can argue other play. You can argue Steph. I like Steph. Steph. I think a lot of people took shots at Steph when KD was doing work because Steph clearly just say, "Look, KD's doing work. I'm gonna tone my game down. They don't need me like that. They're only gonna need me in spurts." But now that KD's down and gone, which they really needed KD to beat LeBron, to be honest. I mean, they really don't need KD to win the NBA now because there's no LeBron with any other team, I think.
This year.
I feel like they just need not to be on another team.
Well, guess what?
That's what I feel.
Guess
like.
what? When Kyrie come to LA,
He not coming.
it's going down.
He not coming.
They
Kyrie not coming to LA.
all these
He's going to the
clubs.
Lakers or
Kyrie's
the
out.
Clippers?
I can make that bet.
Kyrie's going to LA.
He's going to LA.
got it.
All this stuff about Golden State, all the stuff they said about Kevin Durant will come back to bite him next year because they gonna need him next year.
Hey, listen, Durant and Kyrie might end up in LA while
the-
y'all playing.
Is that another
Durant
segment?
might.
Is that
I
another
don't.
segment, or do we
I won't
want-
put any amount of
But
money
we're
on
going
Kyrie
to
to
talk
go to
about
LA.
the KD like
I
that.
got.
Listen, with the roster we got right now,
Who's
He's talking
we?
about the
Who's
Lakers.
we?
Who's we? Be
the
honest.
roster of the
I need
Lakers.
to define that we. Define that.
Define the
with the,
Lakers.
with, the,
Okay.
with the roster that the Lakers have right now, I don't see, other than Golden State, I don't see nobody just putting us out of the playoffs. I don't see it with the roster we have right now. I don't see Portland. I don't see the Nuggets. I don't see the Spurs putting that roster out right now. Only one I see is Golden State. And if you take Kevin Durant off of there,
That's that fan in you talking, man.
Take Kevin
They
Durant
still a
off of
great
where?
team.
If you take Kevin Durant off Golden State,
He's off.
and then you give us Kyrie, and you give us Jimmy Butler.
No, you
or
ain't say give us
or
Kyrie.
you-
That team y'all got right now
I don't
cannot beat the Warriors without
That's the
Kevin
only team-
Durant.
That's the only team.
I'm saying
knocking us off.
even with Kevin Durant out,
Yes,
they can't beat Stephen
That's the
Clay.
only team I see. This is what I'm saying. In the whole side. That's the only team I see. This is what I'm saying. That's the only team I see. If you add, and then once you add Kyrie, Jimmy Butler, or the Claw, I might like him then.
You got a lot of stuff
Once
going
he
on.
put that
over there.
purple gold on,
It's like Shannon
You want a
Sharp,
lot
man.
of
I
stuff.
like
him then.
everybody, man.
Listen,
Yeah, you want some stuff, don't you?
Doug said Kyrie's vacationing in LA. That's about it.
Listen, he's vacationing in LA.
Right, Doug.
Listen,
Right.
they just got his 2K information. He turned all his clothes into LA on 2K. He's playing in Lakers clothes right now on his 2K team.
Did he do that? Did the fan do that?
No,
I
he's
seen
doing that.
I seen LeBron like the post.
He's doing that.
Had even,
No, they found him out and he was doing it. He already apologized to LeBron already.
Hey, we're gonna know in like a month and a half,
This
right?
thing's
Something
already
like that. July 1st.
If he go back to LA, that's going to hurt his
Then
career
we
so
have
much.
the pick. We have the 4th pick. We could give Cam Reddish to somebody, whoever want him. Or we gonna take Cam.
You go to GM.
He's a
go to
3-point
GM.
shooter. You know what I'm saying? He's a 3-point shooter.
Man.
You
But
got
it
the
looks like
GM
it's a,
hat.
but hold on, but it looks like it's a circus in LA. This is like a lot of discord. Magic left. They was backstabbing Magic the whole lot. But that's, we'll get. Look, they ain't even in the playoffs, so we gonna move back to LA. We gonna go back. Like they not even in the playoffs.
It's LA, man. We gonna talk about LA no matter
the
what.
conversation.
Talk about
Somehow, man.
this Raptors Bucks series, which it seems like the series is going where the Stars have played, the Claws locked down the Freak, Giannis, and the role players. You've gotten two. You got a 30-point game out of Lowry, and you got a 25-point game out of Lowry. I think that's the key to the series. Siakam has come on. I think after they won that double overtime game in Game 3, that kind of got them over the hump where they believe. And then, some of their role players at home, they won the other game and they came into Toronto. And Middleton in Game 5 really had a subpar game. I think that was the key. He only had 6 points. And Middleton has been really a stalwart for the Bucks as that second guy, that second scorer. So it's going to come down, and the interesting part is, getting back to the Claw, is like when you get into this Game 6 against Milwaukee, you can put Claw on the Freak and say, keep him under 30.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Keep him under 30, and we'll find a way. Like you don't have to do anything spectacular or sweet with it. Like you don't have to design like we're going to trap, we're going to do a 2-3 zone, one boxing one. You get on him and help us out, and we'll find a way. And it's going to be how the role players play. Can Milwaukee hang in there? And this is going to be a great test for the young team, young Giannis, to see on the road elimination game how he steps up and plays.
Yeah, you find out a lot about everything when you win or lose. You know what I'm saying?
Elimination game on the road. On the road. You're going to find out how you come to play. And it'll be interesting to see. Definitely looking forward to that game with the Bucks playing. And I think the key, moving forward, you have to really favor Golden State in the finals. We'll get to them in their
absolutely.
in their sweep of Portland, which was going back and forth. But I favor Toronto because of players like Lowry. It's do or die. I mean, their chance to get to an NBA Finals, or you don't get this opportunity so many times, and especially with like Jonathan saying, the Claw's going to be out of there next year with the taxes in Toronto and everything else that's going on.
Man, even if they win, they ain't gonna leave.
Hey man, when somebody
Jonathan
says,
got him in LA.
Got him in LA.
I thought he goes to the Clippers.
when somebody can say,
Nobody's
okay,
picking the Clippers over the
we
Lakers.
can offer
He
you
is,
190, and then the other team can offer you 192, but then Uncle Sam gets involved and you see that Uncle Sam is going to get $50 million of that, and somebody else in another state is only taking 12.
Yeah.
That'll make a difference.
And don't forget, LA, the money I'm gonna make off the court.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on that
That's
as
not.
well, too, to
Ain't
make
no
shit
money
start.
being made in Toronto and Canada off the court. ain't nobody wearing no sneaks. It's all snow boots. Ain't nobody.
That's why Drake
Toronto's a
be
beautiful
promoing so hard. Cause he want Kawhi to stay so bad. You see what the Game 5?
Oh yeah, you see how much fun
Yo,
he's having?
his Toronto accent came out. He didn't talk like that. He
I would
starts-
want him to stay too.
He started talking like a boot and all that. How they be Like all the A's and stuff. Like, nah, he was really rallying up there, man.
So you got Toronto closing this out in Game 6, or are we going to the 2 words, Game 7?
No, they got to close it out.
I got 6. I got Toronto in 6.
They got to close it out in 6. They got to, because Greek and them got to feel like a little defeated. They lost the game at home. You know, they was playing pretty much like they was playing on home court advantage. All right, we lost the 2 on the road, but that's okay because we got home field advantage, and they lost the 1 at home. Now, they probably gonna come in defeated. It might get crazy. The game might get crazy.
Yeah.
What I'm about to say
It might
gonna
be a
real
20-plus point game.
I need
It might get crazy.
Y'all might not agree with what I'm about to say.
Say it.
Greek Freak not that good.
Oh man, you crazy.
Yo, man,
not
hold
good.
on a second. Hold on.
Let me explain this.
Hold up, nah. What's in that cup?
Everything
Little
here
bit
is
of everything.
legal.
Well, look. So peep this. I'm not saying he's phony. He's great. I'm saying he's not how they portray him to be. Like they kept saying he the beast of the East. He next LeBron. He can't even step in the same room as LeBron.
Well, no, he's not LeBron.
Well, you know, but
And then I think when they started saying that, Kawhi got looked at. And Kawhi been the Terminator he is. Oh, he the beast of the East? Nah, I'm the beast of the East. And that's when Kawhi turned up.
We'll get to know LeBron in the 18% drop off in TV ratings later. The Greek Freak is a tremendous player, and I think he's not LeBron. LeBron's a generational player.
Greek Freak upgraded Ben Simmons.
Nah, I don't take this in the wrong way. He got too much fire in that chest to be that. You know what I mean? Like he got too much. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm gonna miss all these 3-pointers and keep going and attacking.
Nate, I'm glad that you didn't say that while we were anywhere close to Milwaukee. They be waiting outside.
He don't even have 2 moves.
Ben Simmons has better ball handling skills than the Freak, but the Freak seems to get to the rim with authority.
But that's all he does. He grabs the ball at 3-point line
That's my
and
point.
runs straight to the basket. He
That's
grabs
my
the ball.
point. That's
That's
the point I'm trying to
Okay,
make.
How
guess what?
can't you
He is
stop that?
But they said the same thing about Doc.
How can't you stop that?
Look, Doc don't have a handle. He don't have no jumper.
He grabs the ball
And
at
they
the
say
3-point
That
line.
was cool in 1970,
And runs straight to the
1980.
cup.
2019, the Doc game ain't working.
But I'm
And I
saying,
love Doc.
So why ain't they stopping Giannis? Since that's all
Oh,
they
they
can
stopped
do.
him now.
That's
The
all
claw guy.
That's all he can do is
claw
grab the
guy.
ball.
The claw on
The
it.
call special.
Claw Norder got it.
The call get everybody.
How can't you stop that though? How can't you body that?
Because
So how about this? How about
How
the
can
reason
you-
why you can't stop it is because you just can't stop it. How
How
about
can't
that?
you body someone that grabs the ball at the 3-point line?
Not that easy.
And runs to the
and
cup.
Jonathan would have had Shaq. Shaq, you're dunking in the plate and you can't hit free throws and you're just dunking and dunking. All you can do, Shaq, is dunk with authority.
Shaq
With
had a
34
drop step move, double pivot, reverse.
Shaq had more skill.
But he's dunking but he's not.
But it's no
shooting.
skill.
But what are you
So hold on
talking
a
about?
second.
He just grabs the ball and runs to the cup.
All right,
He has skill.
so if he
He's
doesn't
the finger
play,
roll.
if he doesn't play on Milwaukee, where would they be?
Listen,
That's all I'm talking
They
about.
wouldn't be in the playoffs.
Okay,
Listen,
so what that mean?
that mean that it's
means
weak
a whole
over there.
bunch.
That mean it's soft over there. That's what it means.
That mean I'm talking about team.
That mean the Sixers need to get it together. That's what it means. That mean it's soft over there. It's sad. He grabbed the ball at that 3-point line.
Terrence Mack said all Giannis got is a euro and a spin move.
But that's all he got right now.
Correct.
And he's 2 games from the finals. And he's
T-Mac,
averaging 30
what's up,
points.
brother?
Because he on the East. Y'all talking about that move Kawhi over to the West type stuff. You move Giannis over to the West. Where he at?
What?
AC maybe.
AC. If you move one player, if you put Steph on Toronto, where they at the whole season?
The same place they is now.
No.
It's the East.
No. You put Steph on the East and they in the same place. Who's going to stop Giannis?
All the point guards on the other side though. Who's guarding Steph also?
Who's going? You going to score, but you got to defend too.
Got to defend. That's
Nobody
why
else?
That's why Toronto's in a place where they at because of defense.
The best defensive teams are Toronto and Milwaukee. And Milwaukee played its regular season. They played Golden State well because what Milwaukee was able to do with Golden State was we don't shoot like that. Giannis go down there because Cousins out or whoever's hurt, pound inside, and that's how they were able to beat Golden State. While everybody tries to out 3 Golden State, they're like, "No, slow it down. We going inside, foul line, bang 8 out of 10, and that's how you win." Moving forward, I think Giannis is where he's supposed to be in his development, carrying a franchise to this point to the finals.
Agreed on that part.
Yeah, carrying a franchise to.
Hey, it's only going up.
But it just looks crazy though. It looks crazy.
It can look. So did Jamal Wilkes' jumper. Jamal Wilkes' jumper look crazy too.
He is carrying
And
the
it went in all
franchise,
the
but
time.
how can't you stop this? This man grabs the ball at the 3-point line and runs straight
A
to
lot
the
of people gotta have the one.
And that's
to
why I was
stop.
mad at Ben because I'm like, all you gotta do is what Giannis doing and we can win.
But see, here's
here's
another
the
thing.
1-2.
This is another reason why nobody wants to stop it, because they probably don't want to make Sports Center later on at night too.
Yeah, they don't want to take that chance.
I mean, it's all about
They don't
desire.
want to get dunked on.
And it's all
You
about
right.
desire and want to. Like, the desire and want to. What the Freak may lack in skills right now, because his skills have gotten better every year, he puts in his chest to go desire and win. You go to the hole with authority. You spin move to authority. I'm coming. You block me, I get fouled, whatever. That's what you have to look into a superstar player. It's all about. Sometimes it's not about the skill of the man. Sometimes it's about the will of the man.
Absolutely.
And then when you got the will, to keep attacking it, win, lose, or draw, fail or not, that leads to your team being a better team. And I think that's what one of the things, with Ben coming up is going to be on the Sixers is, dude, like I said, you have better ball skill, handling skills than Giannis, and you're about the same size. How come you don't attack the rim? Whether you can shoot or not, you don't attack the rim, bang, and do it in and out.
We got some shout outs.
Oh,
man.
shout him out.
We got Mr. Jason Reeves down there in the ATL. What's up,
Oh,
brother?
Jason.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
Dave Harper, what's happening?
What's up, Dave?
Miss Heather Brown, how are you? 3HS alumni.
Yeah.
Terrence Mack, GCC alum,
Hey, Terrence
textile,
Mack.
textile All-American, GCC Hall of Famer. What's up, brother? How are you?
Cool. I think the key to tonight's game is Middleton. He had 6 points last game. If they're going to win on the road, Middleton's going to have to show up and give them like 20.
Oh yeah, he gotta make Kawhi guard him all night. Like he gotta make that happen, and he gotta work Kawhi on the offense end. If he doesn't work Kawhi, it's gonna be.
I think everybody's trying to work Kawhi, and for some odd reason the
he is
numbers
hurt.
still getting dropped, and then they got to play the other end too. But
He's
let's keep in mind too, right? There are no machines out here, and these guys are what, the 82 games, what they closing in on 100 games. So people are hurt, dude. So don't get it twisted. We as fans, we can look back and this guy's not doing this. How about everybody's hurt right now?
Nah, that's all facts. All facts.
And I think they rested Kawhi 22 games for this exact moment. They was like, yo, we going to sit you down because you going to need to carry this thing in the playoffs. So I think that's exactly what they did. They calculated it right. They said, look, maybe the number 2 seed in a position, but our best player is going to be thoroughly ready to carry the load in the postseason. And that's what you saw. Kawhi in the series against the Sixers, he was there every game, and other players weren't. Were they healthy or not? But it'll be interesting. Yeah, I think Toronto closes it out tonight. I'll be shocked if they get, but if they do, I love Game 7.
Oh, Game 7 is always where it's
That's
at.
great. But let's jump over to the West and the sweep, which we didn't see
The Wild
coming.
Wild West.
It was a matter-of-fact sweep of the Portland Trail Blazers by the Golden State Warriors. Steph reasserted his dominance after KD went down. It looked traditional what Golden State does. They may get down by a lot of points, but they know how to execute down the finish. Your team doesn't execute down the finish. Their players are a little fresher because they can alternate who's going to carry the scoring load up and down, and that was where it went. And Portland got so I didn't think Portland would get so I think at least they got one. But was Lillard hurt? I mean, a lot of people talk about Dame and were his shortcomings, but then there were talk about his rib injury, things along that nature. But you have to rank Golden State as a team coming together. This is one of all-time NBA runs. When you talk about what they're accomplishing, 5 straight NBA finals, that hasn't been done since the Bill Russell Celtics. So they're going back to the finals for the 5th straight time. Now, is the West better than the East? Yes. But is Golden State just better than everybody else? That's exactly where you say, okay, Golden State's going. Because if the West is super tough, maybe Golden State doesn't go 5 times in a row. The only person that has knocked them off was LeBron that time when he came back from 3-1. But the first time they played Cleveland, everybody was hurt on Cleveland. So what do you guys think? Where does this 5 straight NBA Finals rank Golden State at?
You definitely got to consider them as a dynasty. You definitely got to consider them as a dynasty. The way they play, they will never get that satisfaction. Like we will always say, oh, this team would beat them because we don't see like the from their stars, we don't see like the toughness from their stars. Their Hall of Fame players is not as tough. You know, they have Draymond, who's an enforcer, but he's a role player, you know. So on their stars, we don't see like, you know, how Pittman was, you know, an enforcer, how Rodman, you know. So we always say, oh, this team would beat him, or that team would beat him, you know. We won't, because nobody will ever give Steph his due, his full due.
Why won't they give him his due? I don't know.
Because you know,
That's what I wanna know.
People just, you know, it's just.
If somebody was telling me about him and I didn't see it,
They just
then I
have
got
no
a reason. But now I see it. So why can't you give it to him?
You need to, you know, but they just don't. You know, it's still people that take Westbrook over stuff every night. You
Listen,
know,
guess what? Mental illness is real.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and when you talk about everything on the court, off the court, he holds the Golden State Warriors together.
Right.
I mean, when the beef between KD and Draymond jumped off, he squashed that and didn't let the team unravel. It's just him, and that's when you talk about being a superstar on the court and being a superstar off the court and being a team guy. Listening, Kyrie Irving, that's how you become a number one on a franchise and be able to say, "Yo, you're a Batman." It's not just Batman with the numbers you put on the court, but it's being an extension of the coach, being an extension of management, and holding the whole franchise and team together. And that's what Steph does. So, and this has been 5 straight NBA Finals. So you gotta. I mean, he's been hurt, and he hasn't. Well, people say he hasn't played well in the postseason. Some people say in the championship games, he doesn't have a Finals MVP. Durant got that. Iguodala got the other one.
For guarding LeBron, the same as Kawhi did on the Spurs.
Well, he held LeBron to 30.
Yeah, they didn't do nothing but guard LeBron, and LeBron didn't win, so they just gave him the MVPs. Neither one of them deserved it, though. But
You think he didn't deserve it?
no, neither Iguodala didn't deserve it, or
All right, what do you want that?
Or-
We talking about the other day.
the Claw didn't deserve it.
Especially
All he did was guard
Iguodala.
LeBron. That's it. All he did was guard LeBron, and since you didn't let the king win, we got to give it to you. So
That's all he did was just guard LeBron.
That's it.
He didn't
Iguodala.
score any points?
Now, Kawhi is debatable, but Iguodala,
Nah.
he didn't deserve that.
He ain't deserve it at
He
all.
didn't deserve it at all.
So you got the ultimate team. They're coming back to their 5th, and I would assume they would be favored to win the NBA Finals.
Yeah, they got to be. It's for me with Golden State is a few factors that benefit them.
Oh, yeah.
You have we're in the free agency era where people can say, hey, you know what? I'm going to go jump over there. We seen it with KD. We seen it with Cousins. But where we have to give them credit is with their coach, who was a sharpshooter himself. So he knows shooters. He has basketball knowledge. He's keeping them together, right?
Yeah.
And no matter who comes in the game, these guys, they play basketball. They got a whole bunch of basketball players on their team.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They just not out there, okay, clear out, let him do what he does. No, they are running systems, and everybody's touching the ball. Whoever has the best shot shoots it. And at times, Clay gets hot, Steph gets hot, and they have freedom to do what they do.
Right.
So they are, like I said, they are basketball players, and you know how much fun that they having right now. Nobody talks about that because we talk about how much work you got to put in, but they are having fun playing basketball. So I don't know how much fun Toronto's having, but I know Golden State's having fun by playing, and that could be the difference between anything. So you got to give them credit in a lot of different areas. You can't take anything away from Steph. You can't take anything away from the Claw, because guess what? They some of the sharpest shooters that we've seen, and we've seen some sharp shooters, right? So give them their just due.
And they play defense.
And they play
execute
they
when
play
it counts.
basketball. They play
And
basketball.
they execute down the stretch when it counts.
Right. And when it's time for somebody to come up with buckets, and it's time for them to come through, somebody seems like they always come through. And sometimes coaches don't have anything to do with anything. Sometimes it's just up to you as a player, and they get it done.
Bottom line, they got it done. They've gotten done
got
for
it
5
done.
straight years, and they're looking for their 4th title in 5 years.
I'll tell you why Toronto having fun right now. Because they're usually home right now. So, they never up 3-2.
Man.
Even if they lose 2 straight, they never up 3-2 in the Eastern Conference Finals.
That's
So
true. Does,
This is new ground for them.
They had to run into LeBron.
does
man.
Clay need to leave? He just lost $30,000. $40 million. Does he need to leave?
Well, here's the thing. This
He just lost $40 million out the night.
Here's the thing with $40 million, right?
Possibly 80.
Possibly 80.
Possibly 80.
If I got 180 in the bank, I don't think I really care about 40 million.
Huh?
I do.
Yeah, I mean, but some people do, some people don't.
You don't care about-
no, because listen.
I think people that make money care.
But here's the thing, right? What can I buy that you can buy?
Yeah, it's like
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I can buy anything you can buy.
Another thing.
And only person who's going to say something about I didn't get the other 40 million is the public. I don't care. I'm
Another
living
thing.
like I'm living.
Right.
You know?
But but to you, would it be about the $40 million you lost, or would it be about the disrespect that they don't acknowledge your greatness because you didn't make the team? You didn't make 1, 2, or 3, and you know if you was on the Lakers, you would have made 1 or 2.
maybe.
Well, here's the thing, right? Basketball players, they know about me, so I don't care what nobody else thinks.
that
If you
talk
ask
yesterday.
anybody in that league about Clay, like basketball players,
Right.
They're not going to question anything,
Right, but when you looking
They
at your trophy
writers and
stand
they
Right
all this
now,
stuff.
though.
But when you
I'm
looking
with
at
you. I'm with you. You're right.
Yeah.
I
when
don't
you looking
disagree
at your
at all.
trophy stand, now you ain't got that on your trophy stand.
That
now.
don't. We can,
Nah, hold-
we can
in your museum.
But there's not. It's not even about that because so Kareem. Didn't Kareem sell his rings?
He felt everything.
Didn't he sell everything? Kareem's not broke. So when it's time to talk about who's the greatest of all time, when they bring Kareem's name up, do people say, "Oh no, he's not"? No.
I
So
agree.
what do they mean? To somebody who really doesn't care about
I think the
anything.
money aspect, if you want to make money, I think the number guy, the fourth guy on the Forbes list is trying to be number one.
Yeah,
and
exactly,
stuff like that.
exactly.
But, and when you talk about business and everything like that,
Right.
when you talk about basketball and stuff, I think Clay, he wants to win. I think he wouldn't have been there
Right,
that long
absolutely,
if he didn't want to win.
absolutely.
If you were talking about making those moves,
You don't like that one?
he had to make the moves to put himself in
Like
position.
Listen,
a while ago.
if you made 200 million and I made 125, we both can go to the Bentley dealer.
yeah.
But I'm with you. I agree that the rings and the trophies don't mean nothing. And like you said, everybody in the NBA know who he is. But if we talking through time, it's like ask a young boy right now who Sean Kemp is. It's like Clay good for the time, but we talking about being all time great. Like if he goes by himself and goes onto another team and he feels that he can be that guy, like people gonna always know LeBron, people gonna always know Jordan. Like Elgin Baylor was great. How many kids know Elgin Baylor?
Well, a lot of kids only know what they know now. Like me, like if you
I'm
ask
saying, but they
me,
all
yeah.
know Jordan though.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you at that certain stat, like people that don't
But they got
watch
footage
basketball,
too. They got footage
know
too now.
LeBron.
They got footage
Yeah.
of Mike flying.
Yeah,
So
and Mike was the ESPN athlete. Like the footage, the highlights, and everything. You got to look at before ESPN, which I was around, and post ESPN and the development of ESPN as the Sports Center highlight. And a lot of kids today don't watch full games. Like it's hard for them to sit down and watch a full basketball.
they highlight
game.
watchers. They just want ESPN.
They highlight
So-
watchers, so you see who has the highlights and everything like that. But like I said yesterday, if you know the truth, why argue opinion? So,
Absolutely.
And if you know the truth,
That's hard right there.
You want the
Why would I
truth?
sit-
You want the truth?
why
Huh?
would I sit
Can't
down?
handle the truth.
I wouldn't sit down and argue opinion.
We got some more shout outs, man.
Shout them out. Shout them out.
Mr. Iron Mike Starks down in there.
Delaware,
From
Maryland.
Jersey, down in Maryland. What's
Okay.
up, brother? How are you?
Yep.
Robert K. Farmer. What's up, cuz? How are you? Andre Hayes. I
Hey,
see
Andre. We
I
gotta
see
get you
you.
in. We gotta get you in on the
Dre,
Sixers
Gotta
talk.
get you back in. We got
I need you to clarify what's going on with these
Buff.
Sixers.
How are you? Thanks for joining Mr. Mark Phillips, who's doing a fabulous job over there at Cam to Hide,
Okay.
athletic director. What's up,
Okay.
brother? We got to catch up.
Definitely.
Taffy Homer, how are you?
I'm buff.
Haven't seen you in a long time. Mr. Eric Cord, 6'6", running the baseline down in there in Atlanta, Georgia.
Definitely.
And another thing before we get to Dame Dollar, do you go to the front office if you Clay and tell them they got to make that up?
They probably make it up.
Do you tell front office they got to make it up? They got to make that
it's probably
$40
getting
million
up.
up.
It's whether they're gonna get caught or not. That's what it's all about. They
Yeah.
get it up.
Well, see, that's
Like
this-
everybody thought Deion played for the 49ers for that league minimum that year. Man, they had meetings in the bathroom.
Oh, listen.
Envelopes were slipped.
the offshore accounts. I needed all cash. They know how to do it. Come on.
Untraceable. You know how
I
it
don't
goes.
want to talk about that because I don't want them to start focusing on the under the table money.
Yeah, definitely. Dame Dollar, did he take a hit? A lot of people said, "Where were you, Dame? You were nice waving Westbrook goodbye, but where were you in the conference finals?
Hey man, look. It's a difference when you got a Steph Curry who was just taking a back seat and letting God walk on water, and then all right, it's time for me to go turn it on. And then you got
the wear and tear.
Then you got somebody rolling, got to be the leading scorer for all 82 games, and now I got to be dominant in the playoffs, and Westbrook took so much out of me, and I still was able to get through Denver.
Game 7 in Denver. That's what the Game 7 went on in Denver was like. Well, and even though your mind, your money, the mortgage say go with the 4-time finalists, but when they won that Game 7 in Denver, I was like, well, maybe. Well, maybe they might.
Maybe they could do something, right?
When you win a Game 7 on the road.
Right.
But Denver was young and experienced also in that thing. So.
And Denver's gonna be back, especially with Michael Porter healthy. They gonna be something. They gonna be something.
A little slightly off topic. Do y'all think that's a destination for any free agent? Like if somebody goes, like say KD goes to Denver.
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Yeah. Hey, KD
or Kyrie goes to Denver.
KD should have went to Denver a long time ago.
I think there's a talk a lot of people with the Kyrie thing is they're really not sold on Kyrie. And the reason they're not sold on Kyrie is because your team. You're going to need a team to beat Golden State. We need to be everybody on the same page. And like I go back to when he got his surgery and those guys in Boston said, you're not with us. You about yourself. You want to bring that money and that type of into your organization? Hey. I think that may have.
I gotta come to LA.
Yeah, you say go to LA.
I got no choice.
It's do or die in LA.
LeBron needs you. You need LeBron. Hey,
and they can do it one more time. Put the band back together.
Put the band back together, man. Find out where Mike Miller at.
But definitely. Yeah. And I agree with John. He carried the load, and they but I thought getting swept, that was the only part.
Right.
And you had some leads in those games, 15-point leads and 17-point leads. I just was looking for a better series.
Yeah. I like this big man. I like this big man taking up for him, in the post conference. Like, listen, they was throwing so many bodies at my man. He couldn't do what you normally see him do. Right. He actually worked on his shot, shooting five more feet from the 3-point line because they was trapping him at the 3-point line. So he worked on that all this season, shooting. So when he shoots that deep, that's actually where he worked on shooting from. But
hear that, Ben Simmons working on that shot.
But yeah, and it came out that his ribs was broke. So that was another thing. That his ribs was messed up.
The body shot.
But it is what it is. You got knocked down by a dynasty. So. I don't think nobody would have betted money with you that you would have won. So with that being said, you got where you need to get to.
Yeah, that was for them to Portland to get to the conference finals. I guess
after being bounced out the first round, after first round, after first round.
I guess you just remember the last thing. Getting swept was the last thing.
That's bad. Yeah.
What we can't do and what we do is we, take these guys. We see, what happened his last series. I'm not taking nothing away from him because. You ran into that juggernaut. You know what I'm saying? I saw what you did all year long. I saw you send OKC home from 35 feet. Right. I saw you do that.
And that was a 50 and 7.
And I was watching you do some special things. So I'm not going to forget about none of that.
Don't forget that he was that.
I'm not going to forget it.
Why
would you be mad? Listen.
And don't forget he had to guard the most violent point guard in the league.
So about Dame, right? We in an era now where, all right, we, I'm telling my age now. We go back. There weren't guys started getting big, right? Around these 90s, late 90s into the early. They started getting tall and starting putting the ball on the floor. Dame's not a big guy, you know what I'm saying? But for some odd reason, you playing big ball, so I gotta give him that. You know what I mean? Just like some of these guys, they not big guys out here. A lot of these guys. Steph's not a real big guy. You know what I'm saying? But for some odd reason, you doing this 35 and 37, and you winning these games. And I'm gonna give you all of your props because this is a real big, long, athletic man's game now. And they not big guys out here. The Greek Freak is out here with a 7'3" wingspan. Kyrie, you see how small they small compared to these guys, but they getting buckets and they figuring out how to do it. And I'm giving them all their props because it's not a little man's game now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. And the thing about it is, next year you go, you learn from it, and you got to get better as a team. And it's going to be interesting to see if KD. There's a lot of ifs. Let's take a look at the All NBA team. The All NBA team. Here's the All NBA team right here. We got.
I'm not mad at it.
Definitely, it looks right to me. A lot of people
Looks right.
talk about Embiid not being on it. What do you guys think?
Who do you take off? You take
Well,
the
the center,
Greek or Joker?
The-
I don't know if you can take Joker off. You know, like
I can't mess with that right there. I'm not.
I think Joker is he's talented, man. Like Joker is.
Oh,
like,
listen, it don't have to be pretty.
It's-
If you're looking for sexy,
but it's
he's not.
But it's almost that is almost like
Just
if he's
argue.
not on, he's on, not on. It's almost
one
like
of
if you
those
put
things, like with the
right.
Greek
If
freak and
Kawhi
the-
was
and
on
James
there,
of
you're
the-
not
of
going to
the
argue.
MVP.
If
Right.
they took Paul George or they took Harden off and they put Kawhi on there, you're not going to argue that. But if he's not on, you're not going to debate it.
So here's the thing. Let's start with
you
even.
want
Let's start even Giannis, right? Let's go from the beginning of the season all the way to these 82 games. Forget
And here's
about the
the- everything.
playoffs,
This
right?
is first,
Because that's
second,
what it
and
is, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not arguing with what Giannis was doing. I'm not forgetting about what he was doing. See, we looking at the playoffs, which counts for moving forward.
Yeah.
But what Giannis did during the regular season, what Harden did during the regular Harden, what did he average? 36.
Yeah, and 7. And Giannis said
why
the number one,
how they
the
do it
best
now
record,
with
the
the-
best record in the league.
Yeah.
announcing
So
the
so
awards. They
Steph
announced it before the playoffs.
Steph was Steph, you know? Steph did what he normally does, and he was the best at what he does, right? When you start comparing him to who else nobody could do it better than what he did, right? And then Paul George, for a minute, they was talking about he's in the MVP conversation
Yeah,
because he was
finals.
hot like that.
I
He was
mean,
like
yo.
28, almost 30 points a game. So we forget a lot of times. And Nikola, we were talking about, wait a second, he's the best center out here.
Yeah.
And then we started, you know what, it's between him and Embiid. But one thing about all 5 of these guys were they were consistent.
Yeah.
Now, if you're a consistent player for 82 straight games, that's a long time. People don't understand that. This is not college.
Yeah.
We're not 30 games. We 82 games. So for you to average 35 points or 28 points for 82 straight games, you a baller.
Now, me looking at this,
I don't got Kyrie number 2. I'll
Only-
send Westbrook out.
only person that Clay could have took is Kemba Walker. Like me looking at it, like
Yeah.
I'm with you.
it looks right.
Yeah.
Even if he's somewhere else, almost
Yeah,
it
I
looks
don't-
right. Like now that I'm like,
Clay ain't get snubbed because
Now
Kimba deserved to be
now
there.
that I'm sitting back and like really analyzing it and looking at players, like
My only movement I make is I would switch Russell and Kyrie off this season. You could argue who the better point guard or whatever. Russ averaged a triple-double for the 3rd year straight. So, like,
Yeah.
if he don't make number 1, he should at least be number 2. Like, how is you in the... And what, like, Kyrie ain't put up no super crazy number. Like, to me, Kimba could move to, like, Kimba could be up in Clay.
I don't think
You
Klay
move
belongs
Russell
on
to
there,
where
man.
Kyrie at, and then Kyrie come down to 3, but then you replace Clay with Kyrie. I take Kyrie out the whole all team, everything.
you gotta
for
keep
you
him
ask
up
me.
there. You gotta keep Kyrie up there.
I don't.
That's dancing,
What the,
man.
that's just because of his name and who he is. What did he do this season?
But here's the same thing, and it's been talk. And here's the talk. You talk about Kemba Walker, right?
Right.
You talk about Kyrie. If you have Kemba play with LeBron and Kyrie never play with LeBron and never have any playoff success,
Now we
they
having
say-
that same conversation
Now you
how we
have-
had about
Right,
Kyrie.
'cause they're almost the same player.
Yeah, like you
They're
said,
close.
they said
Kemba
the
and
whole
Kyrie
thing.
is close.
Because he's never. I mean, Kyrie's one playoff victory without LeBron is the Indiana without their best player.
Yeah.
That's the only series like
Kyrie never been to the playoffs by himself until this year.
Yeah, and they won one round against a team that had their best player hurt.
And I don't even
And they
think,
was
I don't even
struggling with
think
him.
this is. I don't even think I can say that he been by himself with this team. The team he had.
Yeah. Well, this
Almost-
I should. You right.
But looking
Without
at the
LeBron,
stats-
let's say you right. He ain't by himself. Without LeBron, I should say you right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if Clay should have made it now. Like looking at the numbers, like do you take Kemba off?
I'm
for
taking
Clay?
Kyrie off, man. I stand by that.
Kimba,
man.
like Doug said, Kimba
Kyrie
don't have
out
anybody
of
to
there.
lean on.
Right.
Kimba don't have anybody to lean on any night.
Right.
Like,
Anybody.
Right.
Only Jordan, and he ain't playing.
Yeah, he ain't playing. So, I mean, that's the all NBA team, and what you think about it, it's always interesting to
Jordan
see.
hard on his own kids. Imagine how hard he is on Kimba.
But here's another thing. Here's another thing that we talk about. The NBA playoff ratings are down 18% without that guy.
LeBron effect.
The LeBron effect.
Yeah.
LeBron, what he meant, I always said he's the Dark Knight. They needed the whole thing. Somebody to root against.
Hey, the
root for.
owners and the commissioner knows how much he means to the league.
LeBron is so such still a figure.
They were trying to give us Zion. That's how much he got. I don't know how we got him in the fourth seed. I don't know how we got the fourth pick. They was trying to give us Zion though.
Oh, you know how.
But the funny part about it is with LeBron being in the West, next year they're starting to talk about television starting not those West games at 10:30 but at 9:00.
You got to. You know how many times I fell asleep and wanted to watch something?
I'm gonna tell you the truth. I couldn't even
Ain't coming on at 10:30.
I be holding on. I'm
I wake up at 4:30 in the morning.
I'm like old girl
I
on
can't watch
Friday.
that.
She got her hair done. You know,
Yeah.
she didn't want to get that thing messed up.
Yeah, so you definitely, and it's interesting to see where everything goes. So we're looking at the adjustment and TV revenue is huge. TV revenue is big, and you gotta
Is everything.
definitely. And we want to jump in. I wanted to jump in. We're closing out a little segment on the NBA. We're looking to see Toronto. We're predicting Toronto and Golden State. I would like just to see a game 7, go longer, it is, and see how it goes. So we got the NFL.
Getting low, man.
And talk about NFL, we got talking about TV. They have made some changes to their TV rules. Starting off, we talked about the NFL. They had a meeting. They said all the double market teams and everything, there's no going to be that more single header rule. That everybody is going to get a double header, regardless. So you get in those games at least three NFL football games a Sunday plus the Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to get 4 games.
Load us up. We love it.
Up. I mean, that's what it's all about. I mean, that's the move they decided to make in order to have more television on, because I think that's where the revenue's going. And they know that television is what moves the needle. Television is the $1 billion TV contracts is what's moving these leagues now. Not who goes to the game or anything like that, but definitely the television markets. And so they made the move, and it's going to be. And they also said the playoffs are going to start at 3 and 6:30, even not at the conference finals, but playoffs in general. So they want more time in prime time, more of the games to air, the playoff games to air in those prime hours. So they said, well, we started at 3:00. You can run around, get everything done, get your honey-do list done, and make it home in front of the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And so they definitely want to make that move happen. In other news, dealing with players and things that are happening, Arizona, Patrick Peterson, PDEs.
Dun 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 dun.
So he's done for the first 4 games. He won't be eligible for postseason awards. So his Pro Bowl streak of 8 consecutive years will stop. Hit to the Cardinals. He said, look, at the end of the day, he's responsible for what he puts in his body, and something on that one of those supplements he was taking definitely had some things on, and he got hit. So it's going to be interesting to see how Arizona handles that. We talk about what's going on in NFL, and then Ruber Foster. Ruber Foster. Some people saying it's karma.
I don't like that look right there.
ACL.
I feel that look right there.
ACL. Ruben Foster has been involved in a lot of. Did he hit somebody? Didn't he hit somebody? Yes, he did. No, I didn't. Take it back. Redskins, released by the Niners. Redskins picked him up. First day of non-contact sports ACL. He's done for the year. Blow to the Washington Redskins. They were trying to build their defense. In contract news, Malcolm Jenkins not showing up at the quote-unquote voluntary workouts for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Is it money time?
He's the 10th highest paid player in this position.
So he wants to bump that up.
Yeah, he's
Is he top 5?
2011.
How old is Malcolm though?
Drafted in 2011, so he's 29. He born in 87. So,
Okay.
So he's 87.
32.
That's 30.
Yeah.
So he's trying to get a 3-year deal.
Yeah.
I'm born
so-
85.
He's worth it. He's worth it.
Yeah, he's trying to
I'm
get a
not
big contract
I'm not
before-
breaking the bank, but he can get a
what
3-year deal.
he means to the Eagles, kind of the heart and soul of the team.
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to go out there and this is my last
Yeah,
contract.
it's the last one.
Look, we don't win the Super Bowl with me. Put a little something in my pockets.
They're breaking him
I'm
off, I
doing.
think. If they broke Jason Peters off, and I haven't seen him in 2 years, then Jenkins is always on the field.
Yeah.
And he always has the Eagles ready to go. And he's a player. Ask old boy for the Patriots in the Super Bowl when he put him to sleep real quick and changed the game.
Yeah.
So he means something to the defensive side.
So definitely. So it's interesting that they say these are voluntary workouts, but then you hear when people don't show up to them, like
everybody's upset.
Everybody's upset.
Yeah, we got to figure out. Sometimes when you the old guy, you know what football is all about. You might want to get an extra. You might be getting your feet worked on, your shoulders. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think he should have made it the workouts too. From New York on the
Bell.
No, he's on Beckham for the Browns.
Oh yeah,
he missed.
If you knew and I just gave you new money, you
got a young
there.
quarterback. Like,
you gotta
like
get out there.
That's not.
But I don't know the story.
Le'Veon ain't go either, but the coach backed him because he said they ain't never go to OTAs. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Listen, if players get held to a different standard.
It's voluntary.
Yeah. Players get held to a different standard if they work their asses off.
Yeah.
You kind of like, I ain't gonna worry about this guy because
talking
when
about
they get there,
practice.
Voluntary.
Working, though.
The word voluntary.
He got his own regimen.
Yeah, that's the key word, right?
Yeah.
Do I have to come when it's voluntary?
Yeah. So that's the whole.
How about I'll still work out where I work out at. I don't have to be around this yet because just because. But I'm training,
right?
And that's that's the big kick. And with the New England Patriots, the Jets, the Patriots have already 2 victories.
Dang.
Season hasn't started.
You gonna do them like that?
Well, the Jets are looking. They fired their GM, and then there was some rumors they're going to trade Le'Veon Bell. Coach K said, "No, that's ridiculous." But there's been talk about Peyton Manning becoming their GM, but nobody wants to jump in that GM spot without a long-term commitment. More chaos in the
Man, listen, give me a 2-year deal. I'll go over there. Let's make it happen.
How much you want for the 2-year deal?
Listen, what? We can start at $250. That's the cheapest GM ever.
I know they got.
Let's do that $250 for 2 years. I'm good.
On paper,
and
they got the
listen, after the 2 years and it's turned around, we still cheap. We 1.5.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a deal.
That's a hell of a deal for a general manager.
What?
General manager.
Come on, let's go. Make that happen.
Making millions.
The Eagles. Doug just put on there. He said the money getting thrown around on that offense brings some of that money to that D.
Yeah, and that
better because last I know in that Super Bowl, Graham knocked that ball out of Brady's hand.
Yeah,
that was on the defensive side.
Yeah, I mean they had to put up 40 points, but you got to close the show. You know, definitely, they're definitely looking to be an offensive team. It's an offensive league. People were putting all their eggs into the offensive basket with the rules.
See
and
what
everything.
Doug put? He put 2 years, 500,000.
So damn cheap, baby.
Also, I want to get back.
That's a deal right there.
What you guys think? They tweaked the pass interference rules. Pass interference and non-pass interference calls are challengeable now. They had made it so that those rules followed the pattern, and under 2 minutes they would be automatic booth reviews. That was the original plan for that.
Right.
But they just tweaked that and said no. The challenging of pass interference and offensive pass interference, defensive pass interference, or the non-call of either will remain a coach's decision even under 2 minutes. They're not going to fall under the automatic review under 2 minutes. What do you guys think?
I don't like the fact. What's up with this 2 minutes? Like if you have the capability of reviewing something to get it right, review it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would you? Now we see everything, right?
Yeah. Right.
If you get the refs can't see everything, right? They, do the best that they can.
It's fast,
right? So if you missed the call, why can't you go back up top to see if you got the call right? Like case in point, the pass interference with the Rams in New Orleans.
Yeah. Right. That's what this is about.
Pass interference.
Right. Now you should have been
able to see pass interference.
Yeah.
Everybody at home sees it.
It was 2 plays though. It wasn't even one.
But this is what I'm saying. Like everybody in the whole entire world sees that. Let's go to the review. Go up top. We didn't get it right. Boom. And we you understand what I'm saying?
They know they ain't get it right. It's still like
the thing about it is they want to they need to just have someone there. A ref there watching the camera, watching the TV screen. Because
they got a system.
They go to New York.
Yeah, the system is already in place.
Right,
They just need to say, let's just review that play, and it's done.
Their big problem is they don't want to slow the game down too much. They trying to keep it going.
So they don't mind. They don't mind. What that means is they don't mind making a bad call, and letting them living with a bad call.
Here's my thing on pass
like
interference or anything like that. We go to reviews. We go to reviews for definitive answers. Like if you can get a definitive answer, anything you go for the review is: did the ball leave his hand before the clock expired? Was his foot on the line? You know,
all reviewable. All reviewable.
Did he have 2 feet in? Usually you don't go to reviews for judgment calls. Like it's hard to go for a review and say, is that a block charge? Or you can go in a review and see if his foot was touching the line where you can get a charge call, block if you're in that. Or who touched the ball last to see who grazed their hands. But you usually don't go to reviews for opinion. Like in my book, there wasn't pass interference. He bumped him, whatever. It was contact, but they both were contacting. So that's going to be interesting part because you're not going to the review to get a definitive answer. Was his left foot in when he caught the ball? Or was his left foot out? No, right there we can see his foot's on the white line. It's incomplete. Now we're going to have a review and debate. Was that interference? Wasn't. Did it get too touchy or it didn't get too touchy? Because me and Duke could both ref a game, and we defensive guys. It's going to be a little more touchy-feely in the secondary.
Oh, it's going to be a little bit more touchy-feely
than with me.
But
I'm throwing 2 flags out. I need another flag out.
Me
your flag.
Me and Duke raised on NFL crunch course, so we gonna be like,
Oklahoma drills.
Oklahoma drills. You know, like so, So what y'all talking about? Yeah, that was clean.
But you know, it's the rules are in place.
Shoulder pads a little too high. I'm calling it.
But the rules are in place, right?
I'm calling.
But before 5 yards, you can't touch.
Yeah.
So if we review and I see that you holding his jersey past what it's supposed to be, it's interference.
Yeah.
Like
or NFL holding.
Yeah.
But see, I think what they're going to be specific about, they're saying pass interference. Because I don't know if they don't say anything about offensive holding or defensive back holding. They're saying pass interference.
They're definitely not worrying about the trenches. There's a lot of stuff that goes down in the trenches.
And so definitely if somebody's tugging a jersey and that doesn't get called, it was before the ball in the air or not in the air, I don't think they're going to be like, oh, was it pass interference? Nobody called. I think that was pass interference. It'd be interesting to say, no, you're right, that was defensive holding, but that's not pass interference. The play stands. You know, definitely how you go. So it'll be interesting to see how, moving forward.
I think they'll get it right at the end of the day. I think they'll get it right.
And I think the time is all what people are talking about now. I mean, that's why baseball is having issues, how long it plays. So they're trying to get the games as concise as possible. Mm-hmm. So now you're looking at how long this is going to make the games go back and forth, or you giving. But at the end of the day, like Duke says, you want the right answer.
You want it to be right, man. You want it to be right because. If somebody lies, right? Yeah. Then and they get away with it.
Yeah.
It's looking like they're a liar just for lying, period.
Mm-hmm.
But now it's nobody can tell the other side.
Yeah.
So now when a liar gets convicted, they lose, but they still liars, making them look crazy still. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think they'll get it right. I think they'll get it right moving forward.
And that's going to be the big thing. And I think because we've all debated pass interference, offensive pass interference. The receivers always gotten away with a little more push than the D-backs did because it's an offensive league and they want points and they believe
points. That's what
it's about.
And points sells. It's all about box office.
TV
offense.
Yeah.
Offense, but you can't lead a defense out.
That's why Steph Curry got rid of the big man.
Yeah,
it's like flag football now.
Yeah, definitely. Doug feels all officials should be reviewed during the games on all sports, which is true. Like
I agree. Hey man, you're not perfect. You can get
Yeah.
something wrong. It's let's review it again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the whole thing moving forward, and we're going to see how this affects the NFL this year. Boxing.
Uh-oh.
They had a boxing match last week. Wilder versus Brazil. That was an interesting battle. Jonathan, what was your take on that? Did Wilder solidify his part of, man, I'm in the driver's seat now. It took Joshua a long time to get this guy out of here. I got him out in under 3 minutes. How does that go? Where does that move put him in negotiations? As you know, we see moving forward.
It still stays the same. I mean,
Yeah, we got the fight up here.
we got the fight. Let's tune in.
Let's tune in.
Let's tune into the fight. You know what I mean? Let's tune in. Look at this. Let's tune in. You know. But you know, Wilder did what Wilder was supposed to do. You know, he got a guy in there. Wilder's a one-punch guy. You know, Joshua has that one punch, but Joshua also is a boxer.
Yeah.
You know, so Joshua's gonna take his time with you, and it's a big difference when I'm fighting you after you done got the big beat down.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
what did Joshua take after?
You know, and that's also a big thing.
And this guy looked like he saw this slow. He was
and, you know, he's out of shape. You know, this guy, he's not in there ready to fight. He's trying to get a check. Yeah. And the thing with him, you also got to watch, like when we would watch the Mayweather and Pacquiao. Yeah. You know, Mayweather would take 9 rounds, sometimes go 12, and Pacquiao get him out in 3. You know, but as we seen once those gloves went on, you know, Pacquiao they said was a little hurt, but whatever. Yeah. Once those gloves went on, you see Mayweather dominated that fight. So
boxing skill. Did you think Wilder improved did he look better as a boxer in this fight?
No,
because against the awkward gypsy man Tyson Fury, it's kind of hard to look good.
Yeah. He didn't look good against Tyson Fury, and he didn't look good against Ortiz, Big Papi. Yeah. Both of them was beating actually Wilder on the cards, I believe. Honestly, on both fights, Wilder landed a good punch on Big Papi on Luis Ortiz and put him down. You know, and also he got 2 knockdowns on Fury and was able to get the split decision. That lets you know how bad you was losing. But I still didn't even think he needed to get a split. I think he should have lost. I mean, he got this. That was a draw, actually, right? That was a draw. So he got the draw against Fury. Yeah. I still think he should have lost by split decision against Fury because Fury was dominating the whole fight.
Very frustrating.
Yeah, he couldn't do the jab 1-2. There we go, the jab 1-2. He couldn't do that. Once you take that out the fight, you got him, you know. And this guy wasn't ready.
But that right hand that's what people are
missing. That's what I'm about to get into.
Not the boxing experts like us.
You cannot count him out. Yeah. You cannot count him out against anybody. If he lands that punch, everybody's going down.
Could be the difference.
Horses is going down.
All training goes out the window once you get hit with that.
A horse will go down. A bear will go down.
Yeah. So you always got a chance to win every fight.
An elephant will go down. If he lands that punch, you know, like
you see the footage.
Yeah, he's putting you, but it was showing how to avoid the punch. Luis Ortiz showed you how to avoid the punch. He showed you how to you
got to circle to the right first of all.
You got to circle to the right. Luis Ortiz did it the whole night, and the round. If you watch that fight,
Ortiz would have beat him 5 years ago. If Ortiz was in his prime,
he would have knocked him out. Probably he would have rolled him. Yeah, because he had him hurt. He had Wilder hurt, and he showed. And in the round before Wilder knocked him out, he was standing Wilder's face saying, throw the right. Yeah. You throw it, I'm going to parry it and catch it. He was saying, throw it, I'm going to parry it. He parried it about 3 times. Then Wilder wouldn't even throw it. He wouldn't even let it go. And for some reason, Wilder said, I'm going to let it go. And it caught him, and it was just over. He was waiting for he was sitting in his face saying, throw it. I dare you. I'm going to parry it, and I'm going to catch you.
Hey, listen, if you got a bomb, then you got a bomb.
You got to use it.
Right.
I mean, you got to throw the right hand.
If you got the nuclear weapon, we need to see it.
Yeah, you got to put it out there. And but when you talk about the difference between, you know, the boxing fan and the boxing expert or the general public, being able to generate buzz, people are like, relating, say, oh man, that was like Tyson. He knocked him out early. Yeah. So that right hand, and they want to see people get knocked out. They want to see the explosiveness. He may have a thing with marketing because Tyson Fury and Joshua both are under DAZN. Or the zone, how you want to pronounce it, I'm not sure. And Wilder is, even though he boxes on Showtime, he is still independent.
Yeah.
So he's doing his own promotion, getting his own checks. He didn't want to become a part of DAZN because that would affect his ability to get fights against Tyson and Joshua, which have gotten, you know, lucrative deals from both of them. So it'll be interesting to see who he fights next. Will it be Fury? Will it be Joshua? Everybody really doesn't want to
Fury said, let's get it in the street.
Yeah, bare knuckle. But he grew up bare knuckle. Yeah. You know, he that cat. Because he's the only person I've seen get up after being hit by that.
So
because he's been through some things in his life.
So listen, when you get hit with that and you get up, I know where you've been.
Yeah.
I know how you grew up.
Yeah, you didn't grow up.
Oh no,
silver
no, no.
spoon.
Yeah. I know how you get hit with that, and you bounce up, and you
No shoes in the woods.
I already know the story.
No shoes in the woods. He
Yeah.
had no shoes on
Oh
walking
yeah,
through the
you
woods.
taking walks.
But
you
he's definitely marketable. He definitely speaks his mind. He's definitely out. He's definitely on the internet. But I didn't like the tweet he said. I'm already not a big fan. And then another tweet he said, I would have loved to tear through a young Mike. Like I was like, whoa, hold on now.
Listen, don't
Hold on now.
Hold on. What you act like that, Mike? Like
Mike gonna move from that hand and get right up in it. And he nah.
what I'm saying.
That body hit Mike gonna hit that. When he throw that wild right hand, Mike is gonna swoop under and hit with that body.
What if Mike is hit with that wild?
Mike got a chin up.
Stop.
He take them Jones.
Stop.
He ain't take nothing.
Mike, listen. Holyfield.
Hit him with a lot though.
No, he didn't.
He hit him with a. This is what I'm saying. He hit him with a lot. And Holyfield is not a wild puncher. And Holyfield has a different type of will.
He did calm Mike down.
Yeah, he did. You know,
He was out of hand, and he gave him handles.
Yeah.
As they said.
Cause I'm gonna hit you with this. Oh, you are, but I'm gonna hit you with this. Boop, boop, boop.
He took a lot. Even the joint with Lennox Lewis hit him with everything.
Hey, listen. If he,
And he got a chin.
Razor Ruddock too.
He could take. Yeah,
Razor Ruddock?
that joint was sick. He could have lost that one in his prime.
So if you get hit with anything in heavyweight,
Any
you
man
can lose
over
anything.
any man over 200 pounds.
But that's
is
what I'm
dangerous.
saying. Mike can take a punch.
He could.
But I think he's saying that stuff that's to get the interest up. You gotta talk. You gotta get people interested to see you. The pay-per-view buys count whether they come to see you lose or come to see you win. They still the same pay-per-view buys.
Absolutely.
If they generate
The
revenue,
check
and
is
there's
already
gotta-
being cashed.
You gotta have some buzz in the division. You have to have buzz, or you have to have a story to generate the revenue from the non-hardcore fan. And that's what the playoffs have missed without LeBron. There's nobody to root against, root for. Somebody to move the needle. Like I said, the Dark Knight. You need, somebody that's like, man, whether you want to see him win, whether you want to see him lose, you tune it in, and that's how it goes. And I think that's the key for boxing right now.
I think Doug agreed with you. He said that. Look at his last joint.
Oh yeah. Yeah, all sports officials reviews game and in the game leaving the field to review play is a joke. Yeah, definitely. You got to be able to. You should be able to have that done in a second.
You should be able to have it done in a second, but I also believe we need to get that call right.
Yeah.
Like if I got it wrong, I need to be able to get that call right. That Rams call, like that was terrible.
Listen, everything's supposed to be reviewable.
Like we done seen some plays
Damn,
where
2 minutes.
pass interference went go, and
Well, Duke knows about
But that play,
the Steelers.
at that what that play meant.
Please don't tell me you talking about the catch with the.
My man was in. Like
Like,
that's why we had.
But they want to change the rule after. It's too late now.
well, that's what they always do. They wait till after the tuck rule.
They
always gonna
that
wait
came
till
out,
after.
Yeah, like the.
I need to know who some of these major players are after the. That's what I want to. I want to crawl up that ladder. We already got a little bit. We already know a little bit about them when we got the footage and everything at that bathhouse down in Florida.
Well,
so
you see the thing. The thing when it goes.
Who else
back,
was in there, huh?
That's what I want to know.
It goes back.
I ain't gonna be mad at them. I just want to know who y'all are.
It goes back to the Steelers versus the Houston Oilers. Mike Renfro is clearly in.
Yeah.
Like Mike Renfro was
clearly.
in 3.
But that was 79. We ain't had that.
And that's
we ain't had an aerial view.
Front of the replay. We was like, we in the house like, oh my God, he was clearly in. And they talked about it for a hot second.
And look, I don't know how often they replayed it, but I know they did.
Yeah. It was like, well, they're like, he's
whoa,
out.
Wait a
like,
second.
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
A lot of Steelers calls in the years. But definitely. So that's interesting. But with back to the boxing tip, you got Thurman talking about he's going to end Pacquiao. I really hope Pacquiao knocks this guy out. But I give Thurman credit. He avoided everybody. Almost got knocked out a few times. To finally fight somebody with a name past his prime, he might could beat in a pay-per-view situation. I give him an A+ for marketing.
That's what
even took a year and a half off to avoid people.
Listen,
That's what I'm
it's
saying.
about?
Is it smart or not? Because
That'll get you an extra
he
$3 million.
avoided Crawford. He got Earl Spence about to move up to fight Canelo. Earl Spence was talking about fighting Canelo. Now this is the only fight that I'm ever afraid of Earl Spence taking because now he's not the bigger man. He's always going to be the bigger man in his lower weight class. But this is a dangerous fight for Earl. You know, you fighting a knockout artist. You know, in his prime still, and you go into his land.
But dare to be great. You gotta dare.
But you just seen what happened when the guy dared to be great to fight you. He didn't even look like Mikey Garcia. Didn't even look. You could tell he didn't belong.
Right.
Like he didn't. You can actually tell. There's no way you can look at this guy and say he's undefeated. He's a champion. You didn't see none of that. Like in that fight. Like so, I don't think that's going to happen with Earl. I think it's something about us. We gonna let them hands go. Like if we gonna go on our back or not, we gonna let them hands go.
It's gonna be a fight, right?
It's gonna be a fight.
We got got a couple shout outs.
Oh, shout them out.
We got DeCarlo.
Hey, DeCarlo.
University of Tampa, Division II Player of the Year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Bahamian, what's up, brother? Thanks for tuning in.
Definitely,
Mr. Damon Plenty, how are you? Been a minute.
Damon.
Howard Pomeroy, how are you, man? High school athletic director.
Okay.
One of the best.
We
And
need to get them on. We need to talk
listen,
a little high school
real story now. Excuse me, but a lot of years have passed, Mr. Pomeroy. But we did have study hall. Mr. Pomeroy did give me the keys to go into his office to read the paper every day.
Cool.
Thank you, brother.
Oh, that's what you need sometimes.
Mr. Coach Rogers.
Definitely.
Coach on our 30-0 junior college national championship team.
Okay.
What's up, brother?
Definitely.
Always.
Get some of these athletic directors in and have a conversation on the status of high school sports and what it means to be athletic director.
Well, you probably don't want the old school ADs up in there because they're exposing everything. They're exposing everything.
I would like to get perspective. Definitely from you compare and contrast on what's going on. But fellas, it's been another excellent session down here at Sports Live Talk for the Culture. You can catch us Tuesday night 9:00 on the Independent Music Network. Will we be there with Sports Talk Live for the Culture? Coming up June 15th, we'll be at the Wing Kitchen. Right?
Yes, sir. The Wing Kitchen of Wedgewood Country Club over in Turnersville, New Jersey. Watch out.
We'll be over there.
We coming in and maybe a special guest.
Yeah, come on through.
Wings and Things.
Wings and Things.
Mr. Chef Timothy Witcher. We're coming to visit you, brother.
We big fan of wings, no doubt. Definitely.
Wingadors. We got a couple of them. There's no champion here.
Yeah, definitely. I want to give a shout out and not remember it's Memorial Day weekend for those who have fallen.
Yes.
It's not about
Yes, absolutely.
It's about sales. It's about people who put their life on the line and gave the ultimate sacrifice for freedom. So definitely want to remember that on Memorial Day. But definitely everybody go out there, enjoy themselves. Beautiful weather out. Have some fun. Definitely. Sports Talk Live for the Culture will be back next week. Holler at us.
Peace.
All right, Nate. All right, Jonathan. All right, Duke.
All right, now.
And I'm Sunni Jennings, and we're out.
The summer officially begins for me.
Y'all
can wait on June 21st all y'all want. I'm in. I'm jumping in today.
All right,
All right, Duke. See you next time.
Yes, sir.
All right, Doug.
All right,
See you
now.
next time.